Damn it, I'm still here. I wanted to go to heaven. I wanted to go to heaven. I was. Damn. It's fucked up. Normally, I wouldn't laugh at things like this because I don't like to laugh at people's face. I don't like to laugh at people's face. This is my not laughing at people's face. But it's funny. You know why it's so funny? Because Christians are so fucking mean. They're so mean. And we're just supposed to sit there and like let them be mean and be like, well, just because they say they believe in God. When they're the definition of you can dish it, but you can't take it. Christians walk around judging folks, calling people demons, lying, talking about they have prophetic dreams and this happened to them and all this happened to them. And the reason they're able to do that is based on faith and what people are willing to believe, right? I oftentimes say, especially in the black community, y'all always know I'm gonna bring it back to the black community. If you don't like when I talk about the black community, unfollow me, because this is my community. I grew up in this community. I've been studying this community. I went to school in this community. Okay, this community is my school. But in the black community, I've always said that when especially black women have not accomplished anything in their life, they will cling to that motherfucking Bible because it's the free degree. Like it gives them relevance. And we grow up with our parents. Lord, nobody can't pay me. We grow up with our mothers harassing us with the Bible, and we turn around and do the same thing. Lord, if I do the same thing, if you see me get on here, I talk about God all the time and I talk about spirituality. But if you see me get on here and start trying to condemn people and reading out the book and talking about what you should do with your hair and what you shouldn't do and all this other crap, tell me it's happened to you, Kiana. It's happened to you. It's always the hypocrisy of it all for me, because it's like y'all don't work on nothing else. You can't say sorry to your children. You can't say sorry to nobody. You can't admit you're wrong. You can't just be fucking nice. You can't do none of that. But you can pick up the Bible and condemn people. And this is a whole nother side note, but I was watching TV, like the reality shows. And I can't remember what show it was. It had to be, I think it was Love is Blind. And it was that season. I think it was a few seasons, because white people start to catch on to this shit too. Now, I'm not familiar with how white people do in their community when it comes to religion and condemning folks and all this other crap, right? But I will say that on that show, the black women were always like, I'm a God-fearing woman, and and I think it was the dark-skinned one who was really pretty and she had a nice body, and she went with that kind of sassy tall boy. And they got together, and then he just was like, yeah, no. And then she got on another show. It wasn't Love Island. I can't remember it. I can't remember who it was. But I remember she came on, and all the women met each other first. And she was just like, I'm a God-fearing woman, and I put God first in my household. And all the women were like, yes, yes. And then they did, like, the bachelorette party the day before they got married, and all of these women was busting it wide open and bending over and twerking and all this other shit, and the white women were like, but I thought, and that is the dynamic of the black community. We just say shit and do whatever. This is why when I speak truth about the black community, I just speak it, and I don't give a fuck who get mad, because y'all are lying. I can get on here and say there's a lot of molestation going on in the community. Well, speak for yourself. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Do they still say that? Stop the cap. But it's true. Everything is like, nobody's actually walking like they're supposed to, in God the way they claim they're supposed to. That's saying, what would Jesus do? None of y'all ain't doing it. None of y'all are godly. And you know what? I can talk my big shit because I don't try to be perfect. I don't walk around here saying I don't curse. I eat properly, and I'm this, and I'm human, motherfuckers. Y'all are trying to be better than human beings. You're trying to be God, and you're walking around here condemning people. But I always say, shout out, is Sally your real name? Sometimes when I can think of you and think highly of you, but I don't even know if Sally is your name. But shout out to Mustang Sally. I'm just gonna say your handle. Shout out to Mustang Sally. She said, what did she say? I just lost my train of thought. Oh, she said that she's an idiot. And she wasn't insulting herself. Calm down. She wasn't insulting herself. And I agree. I walk in every situation acting like I don't know anything, even if I do. And it's not to play stupid. It's because I'm a forever student, and it's because I can learn something in every situation. It's because I don't walk in ego. It's because I don't think I'm better than anybody. It's because I know I can learn from everybody, from any age, from any race, from any gender, from anything. I'm not above anybody. And walking through this life that way allows me to talk my big shit when I see you doing whatever, because I never said I was perfect. I might say, why are you doing that? Because that just don't seem right to me. I don't like that, right? Or, if it's the truth, it's universal, right? Shout out to Brittany. If it's the truth, it's universal. So I just don't think that matches there. See, I'm not putting myself on a high horse. I'm using my logic. But y'all are going, God came down and told me. No, because you're chosen, because you're one of the 144. I refer to myself as chosen, but it's not biblical. I mean, I don't know enough about what it says in the Bible to say that that's why I say that. There's a lot of reasons I say that. If you care to know, ask me. But you know what I mean? I'm chosen. That lady on that video says she's finna go, basically, and she gonna leave her children. Or I don't know, she's saying her children finna go up and she finna stay here. But she was saying somebody finna be left. And that's her seed. She put herself above her fucking children. Y'all are sick. That's the last thing I'm gonna say about this. But this is why you can't, you can't take the black community seriously. And I always encourage people of other races and other communities to call black people out, because that's the only way you learn. It's not that I want black people to be embarrassed. It's not that I want black people to be shamed about it. I want you to see how it feels and understand that people can see you. We drown each other out in conversation. But when it starts coming from the outside and people start making think pieces about you, because that's kind of what's happening. You guys are even mad at AI videos that be having like big women eating Chipotle, going, girl, this is good, and eating it with a chicken bone and shit. Where does AI fucking get this from if you're not doing it? I know you guys want to be represented in the best light. And I think the further conversation is to say, you guys don't want each subgroup of the black community to represent the entire community. So what you have to stop doing is stop making the entire community one when you feel like it, and then trying to break off the bad seeds when you want to. That doesn't, That is what Amanda Seales was trying to do. And you see, I haven't talked about her because she slick broke my heart. I was a super fan, and I realized she's going through something, but absolutely not. You do not get on here and say that there's no black on black crime and it's a myth because you want a specific part of the black community to represent the entire race of blackness. Do you know how dangerous that is? And you are no better than white supremacists by trying to weed out the weak links and saying that, so if you say there's no black on black crime, and they defund the police in your area, and the truth has to fit in all areas, meaning whatever is good for you is good for us, and they defund the police in the hood, that means black people will kill each other. And you're going to be sitting over there satisfied because that's what you're saying. And if you say what you're saying, then you need to say what you're saying. You're going to be satisfied because you don't want that weak link to represent the black community. You want you to represent the black community. That's why it's irresponsible. And this is why the people who are fucking up the black community or giving the black community a bad name are no different than you trying to uphold yourself and be the better people in the black. Like, enough. It's actually disrespectful. And you see how passionate I'm getting, because how dare you? I thought all black lives mattered, not just intellectual black lives, because that's what happens on, even when I go to her channel, I sit there and I ignore it, and a lot of intellectuals. Themis and Thoth is one of them. I even watched Cynthia G. But the way that they treat people when they don't know a definition of a word, or they're not an intellectual, or they didn't go to a fucking HBCU, they're not fucking welcome. You do not represent the entirety of the black community. There are people like me who are stuck in the hood for financial reasons and because I don't have no motherfucking family. But that doesn't mean that I should die off because you think it's acceptable to be like, I love my people, when you see culture online. And let's talk about it. Culture comes from the hood. Culture, the heartbeat, the dancing, the music, the talent, all of that shit is coming from the fucking hood. So you want to claim that shit. You want to claim the heartbeat of the black community, but say, oh, they don't represent us when they're doing something bad. Shame on you. Back to that episode, they kept saying, I thought you was a God-fearing woman. I thought you said no sex before marriage, because she was buying lingerie. I'm gonna do this to him, and the white women were like, it seems hypocritical. The whole community is hypocritical because majority of the fucking community is Christians, and then look at the state of the community. That's all I'm going to say. Sometimes I get on here and I talk too much because I feel like I have to over-explain, because the community will gaslight the fuck out of you. They will gaslight the fuck out of you. Will tell you you didn't see shit. You don't know what you're talking about. This is not that. I live in Atlanta. How normal it is for like strip clubs to be everywhere, and everybody. The middle school kids get off the fucking bus vaping like it's no fucking tomorrow, in front of their fucking parents. And then in the future, when everybody's fucking sick, everybody's gonna say, well, he wasn't allowed to do that in front of me. Yes, he was, you liar. Because I'm convinced that there's some sort of transitional phase where black people, not even the men, because the men, like I said, a lot of men in this community indoctrinate the women with nonsense. Whether it's the racist rhetoric, whether it's religion, it's all forms of patriarchy. And what they've done is taken a page out of the white man's book to have power within their own community. And it's like women just don't understand that. This is a what do you want to call a patriarchal thing. This is a men wanting to have power and women just taking it and running with it. Everybody who you're supposed to worship and respect in the Bible is a man, and women are just but you're gonna follow that religion. And then all of this. When I seen that video of that white lady crying, I was trying to stitch it. I couldn't, and she was like, "Come on." Y'all know what I'm talking about. And she said, "Come on." And she was trying to keep the crying going, and and she said, I thought about it. If this is real, she said, if this is real, I'm not going to be able to see my children. And then my first question was, and I had to go through the comment section to see who's going to heaven, you or the children. I know you're not saying that you over the innocent children finna go to heaven and you finna lead them down here to suffer. Them religious people ain't got no damn sense, and they are manipulative, and y'all, and I always say they scary as fuck. You can spook them. So that's why I say oftentimes Halloween is my favorite holiday. Not one fucking person want to ask me why. Why do you like Halloween? Now, if I say because I'm demonic, and I start rolling my eyes back and going, because I like to do spells, and that's another story. I just like the dress up aspect of it. I love this, like the jump scares of it all. I think it's a very childish holiday with the candy and the just like not being yourself for a day. Like everybody talking about, and I'm not saying that this stuff is not real, like the thinning of the veil on, October 31st and all this. I understand that it's real. I don't be out at midnight on Halloween. I don't know. I'm not dressing up in The most I do usually is a cat, because I was a cat before, and it only makes sense for me to be a cat on my favorite day of the, that's the most I've ever done, was be a cat. Everybody tried to get a whole cat costume. I'm talking about like not makeup, but like a cat. I want to do contacts. Vampires really intrigue me too. Anyway, and now when they get a little joke done on them, they can't take it. Oh, y'all are gonna pay. I don't even want to talk about my family, but I could almost hear the matriarch of the family. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm so glad I didn't have to be around that and all that. But I'm still here, and I guess it makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is all of the motherfuckers who said that they was chosen still here too.